Hi, I want to talk to you about the cascading rule. The cascading rule is pretty simple to understand, but I saw that some people are getting confused by it. So let's go over it. So, according to EditorX Academy, the cascading rule is changes you make to a site layout or style always trickle down to the smaller breakpoint. For example, if you make change on desktop, you will see it on mobile. But if you make a change on mobile, the desktop design won't be affected. Okay, so let's see a live example inside the editor. So let's say I'm changing this text color to white. Okay, so I'm in the desktop, and you can see that if I go to tablet, it's still white, and in mobile it's also white. So that means when I change the style on desktop, it's cascading down to the smallest breakpoint. Alright, so what actually you can do and what you can do. So let's start in what you can do. So you can change element style, what we just did. We changed the color of the title, and you can change element position. Okay, so let's go here. Here I have one section, and it have image, stack element, and the section itself has grid, okay, of 2 columns. So if I want to change the position, so let's say I'm going to tablet and I'm changing the position of the stack element. I want it to be on the second column, and I want to change the image to the first column. So you can see that it affects the tablet breakpoint, and also because it's cascading down, it's change on the mobile viewport. But if I go to the desktop, you will see that it keep the original position. Alright, so this is how we change position. And you can change grid layout. Okay, so let's go back, and in desktop we said we have in this section grid of 2 columns, but I go to mobile and to tablet, and I said, okay, I don't really need the grid here. So I have a few options. I can change totally the grid. I can add, let's say I want a gap between them of 50 pixels, not really a gap, but I add a column, and I can even add a row from top. Okay, and you can see that the grid layout here is totally different. It is 3 columns on 2 rows, but if I go to desktop, you can see that it's still only 2 columns and 1 row. So it won't affect the desktop, but it will affect the mobile. But here I can set new rules, and I can even delete the grid, because I don't need a grid here. So I can just stretch the image and change the width of the stack elements to be 80%, let's say, and let's make it totally center, absolute center. Okay, and you can see that here in this section it don't have a grid. It said apply a grid because it don't have a grid. But if I go to tablet, now I have the grid we created before of 3 columns and 2 rows, and in desktop I have only 2 columns. So totally different layout for a grid in different breakpoint, and they won't affect each other. And the fourth thing you can do, you can change element visibility. So let's say that in desktop and tablet I have enough room for the image, but in mobile I don't want to see the image, okay? Or maybe I want to replace the image. So basically I can don't display the image on mobile, but you can see that it still exists in desktop and tablet. All right. So what you can't do, what you cannot do. So this is super important. You can't reparenting. What is mean reparenting? Okay, so for example, let's say we have a section, and inside this section we have a container, and inside the container we have a text element. Okay, so this container that warp the text, this container is child of the section. This is the section and is child of the section because it's within it. And also it's the parent of this text element because this text element is inside this container. So basically it goes that way. This text is child of this container, and this container is child of this section. The section is the parent of the container and the parent of this text element. So let's see it in the layers panel. So if I have this section in the layers panel, you can see this is the section. So he is the parent of the stack element and the image because they both inside of it. And if we go to the stack element, so the button, the title, and the description is the child of the stack element, which is the child of the section. And what by saying you can't reparenting, that means something really simple. So if I go to tablet and now I decide to move this image to the section below it. So if I drag this image, let's unstretch it. If I drag this image to the section below it, now this is calling reparenting because the parent in desktop is this section, and now I make this image child of the a totally different section. Okay, so you can see that this section now have the image, and here I don't have the image. And if I stretch it and I will go back to the desktop, now you can see that this image is child of this section in all breakpoints, because basically we just create reparenting and we can't do it. So how can I solve it? If I want an image here and I need to remove it from here, okay? So basically we know that we can use don't display, right? So I can don't display, I can duplicate this image. Let's duplicate it, and I will transfer this one here. So I have two images, but the first one I will don't display on the tablet, so you can see that it exists in desktop, it's disappear on tablet, and also on mobile. I can bring it back if I click here, so it exists now on mobile but not in tablet, and it exists on desktop. And let's remove it from here. But so when I duplicate it, so now I have a totally new image for the second section, and you can see that I can don't display it on desktop. Wait, what happened? Let's stretch it. I can don't display it on desktop, go to tablet, click here to display it, and now I get the effect of that the image is located in somewhere else. Alright, what else we can do? We can change content. Okay, this is pretty simple to understand, but I can change this title content in different breakpoints. So let's reposition. This is so we better see. Alright, so I can, let's say, I can change this text button to, let's say, start now on different breakpoint. It will affect the whole breakpoint. Okay, and basically you can change the source of the image. If we will change the source of the image, you will see that it affects on all breakpoints. Okay, it's not displaying here, but you can see that we have different image here. So the solution is to create a new image and toggle between display and don't display. But about the content is pretty much same solution. If you need a different text for same button in different breakpoints, basically you can duplicate this button, and let's reposition it. And you can, let's say this one is read now. Okay, so I can say in desktop I need to see only the read now, so I don't display the start now. Basically it should be read more. Okay, and in, let's say, in tablet I need to see the start now, so I can toggle the display to see it, and don't display the read more. And now only I change the margin so it will be like this, and now you can see that in tablet I have start now, and in desktop I have read more. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so that's it. It's really simple, but it's very important to understand. It will allow you to create a dynamic content and display different design on different breakpoints. And I forgot to say, but you can actually decide if display a whole section in different breakpoint. I can say, okay, I don't need this section. Let's give it some background color so you can see it. I can don't display this section in desktop, but I do want to see it on mobile. And my suggestions is to give a name that will make you remember why you did something. So I used to do like this, to call this section and dash mobile only. So now I remember why it's don't display on desktop, because it always says mobile only. And something else you can do, you can always add note. So I can add note for me and said this section is only for mobile, and then I can remember why I don't see it on, or I mean I can select it here and go to desktop, and I have like a blue icon that said, okay, this section has comment, so I can see, okay, this section is only for mobile. So I know, I remember why I hide it in the beginning. So basically that's it. And if you need to read more about it, you can go to the EditorX Academy, and I encourage you to join us in the forum and share your experience and ask questions. And I'm also there, and I'm trying to help people with their questions. So yeah, definitely check it out. Okay, so till next time, keep building beautiful sites on EditorX.